Hey guys, this is Angel Vivaldi, and you're tuning in to the Metal Teddy Bear Experience.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, one thing I want to know, because I think you did a clinic up at Bumandu Guitars. Do you
Yeah,
remember that? I watched it. Sadly, I didn't know about it, so they recorded them. I was able to watch it. I remember you mentioned something about why you went solo. You just like you kind of said at the beginning of the podcast, you were like, you didn't really like the energy some people bring. Like the
right.
business itself is kind of poisonous. But
Mhm.
are you kind of happy now that this quarantine kind of happened, that like what would have happened if you were still just a part, like you were in a band or you were just a part of the music industry, now that you're kind of solo? Have you thought of like how much that benefited you here? Or you were like kind of happy now looking back even more? You're like, wow, this kind of really benefited me, that literally I'm a one-man army, because like now I don't need literally anyone, and this time I can't talk to anyone or be near anyone.
Honestly, like I've been a solo artist for now 17 years, so I've been
Oh,
in
damn.
one-man
Oh, there
army
you
for
go.
17 years now.
Jesus
So
Christ.
I'm super conditioned to it,
Yeah.
And luckily throughout my career, I've worn many hats, and I've bedazzled those fucking hats quite a bit, so I'm pretty good at a couple things. And luckily for me, it's benefited me in the sense that it saves me a lot of money, and
Yeah.
I don't have to depend on so many people to do things. I'm not a fucking superhero, don't get me wrong. I depend on people to do certain things for me that are way out of my ability. I'm not saying I can do everything, but there's a lot of things where I can speak. All right, I want this lens here. I want this lit at 2700. You know what I'm saying? Like I can be very specific for certain things like that. And it helps them at the end of the day because it makes their job easier. It's like having an artist that doesn't know what the fuck they want or like have a vision of certain things. Like, because I also do. So 2 years ago, I started doing music business consultations for artists. So like, this is a situation where like some people offer guitar lessons and stuff like that. I was like, man, you can just go on YouTube and find anything. But the one thing I wish I had, man, I just wish I had I wish I can pay someone who's doing music as a living to just get advice and insight. It's like, how much do you make? What do you do? How much does this cost? Like, who do you have to talk to do this? Like, what is the behind the scenes insight? So that's something I've been providing for artists for the past 2 years, and it's been pretty fucking awesome, because the more consultations I do for artists, the better I get at the music business for myself and other artists that I'm going to help in the future. So and plus it's great money. So like all that money I have coming in, like I'm just like kind of like putting it to the side for this record because my ideas are very expensive. So it's kind of like a win-win. I feel like it's like you're like the mentor that you always wanted when you were growing up. Like that's literally been my objective. So that's been awesome. And obviously, bro, when quarantine happened, the amount of consultations that people booked because they had the time was insane. I've never made that much money doing that. In like 2 weeks, I was like, well, goddamn, I think I'm good for another 4 months. It's just crazy.
I was going to ask, because, oh, sorry.
Okay.
No, I was just going to ask, because you said that you, I think it was on another podcast or something, you said you didn't have to rely on touring so much as like other bands, like you kind of like did stuff on the other side. So that's like one of the things. What other like businesses or stuff have you done that you don't have to rely on touring?
Dude, touring. So I did quite a bit of touring from 2015 to probably 2018. On average, it was a tour every 3 months for 3 years. Damn. So I'm not, I enjoy performing. I fucking hate touring. Yeah. I love performing. I fucking hate touring. You got that? Hate it. I like being home. you know? Like, because again, I'm very sensitive to my environments, man. I've always been that way. And being at home is just, it's like, my environment, I make it just, it's a very, it's like this for a reason, because it's inspiring, it's calm, it's chill, and anything that I want to do. If I want to do a video project, I have all the gear to do it. If I want to write a record, I have all the gear to do it. I have everything here. When you're on tour, I have none of this shit, you know what I'm saying? And, there's a lot of fucking bullshit that you have to deal with outside the hour and a half that you're on stage. And, I think what it was is, I think the thing that I learned from touring so much is to pace myself, because I felt like there was this inherent pressure to tour, based on the opportunities that were presented to me. Obviously, if I'm headlining a tour with Gus G, I'm going to fucking do it. But at the same time, I had to refine the art of saying no. That's pretty much what it is. Yeah. So going forward, unless it's a bigger tour, I'm only going to be touring probably once a year with the Guitar Collective, and that is it. That is it. I'd rather be where the people are, and the people are online. You can only fit so many bodies in a fucking stadium or like a smaller venue or whatever. I'd rather be online because that's where they're at. And that's what I built my career on, is being online, you know? Yeah. So, but I fucking love performing, man. I love performing. I love designing my live shows. I love designing my merch. I love things like that. But when it comes to business and fucking money and hiring people I don't know that well, it's never really gone well. Out of all the tours I've done, there's only been one tour that has gone off with, I'm sorry, two that have gone off without a hitch for the most part.
Was it the Collective?
And yeah. So for me, you know, I'm gonna stay here.